I've been smoking since a very young age. As far as I can remember, I've probably been smoking since the age of 8. I am of course talking about secondary smoking, sometimes referred to as passive smoking, which is the inhalation of cigarette smoke from others. My interest in this topic has come from my own memories of being in a smoking environment for a lot of when I was growing up. I can remember people smoking all around me as part of being everyday life, both indoors and outdoors, and it was something that I just had to deal with. When I was growing up, households around my country would have always had one smoker or more, at least. Occasionally they would go outside, but the majority of the time meant everyone in the room would be breathing the second-hand smoke from the cigarette. It's pretty unavoidable at times, caused a discomfort in me that I just had to put up with and I didn't necessarily understand. Red eyes, coughing, etc. It wasn't that my parents didn't care, they were just unaware of the harm it could have caused me at that age, and to themselves, and research hadn't been made public by them. Culture in my country is also one of close proximity, and conversations and gatherings often involved house parties, alcohol and smoking. Children were always there, I remember that fact, but it wasn't an issue. Oftentimes I would look at the cigarette packets of the friends and family sitting around me, smoking. I would look at them and they would be frightening. Graphic representations of the illnesses and ailments associated with smoking. And I wasn't too young to understand that smoking could have done me some damage at that time also. I remember the period in my home country, Ireland, when the government imposed a complete smoking ban in the workplace. The ban, implemented on March 29, 2004, was a controversial decision and met with sharp division in the hospitality industry for the most part. With effect from that day, smoking was forbidden in all enclosed places of work. These included office blocks, various buildings, bars, restaurants and company vehicles. Up until the ban was implemented, 25% of the Irish population smoked, and smoking had been identified as a major cause of heart disease and significant contributor to lung cancer in Ireland. Some opposition to the smoking ban came from bar owners, who feared loss of business and a distinct cultural turnaround involving home drinking. The arguments were that the hospitality industry would see a fall in profits. Even so, research proved otherwise, showing that an evaluation of the official hospitality sector data showed there had been no adverse economic effect from the introduction of the measure. Bar owners did make preparations for this ban, and they provided outdoor smoking facilities, usually an outside space converted to a smoking area. Some had even erected purpose-built smoking areas with heating and ventilation facilities, isolated from the main bar, in an attempt to hold on to the customers. Now, the Parliamentary Office of Science and Technology of the UK had prepared a post-note on smoking in public places, and had found that when such studies are conducted, they tended to show a positive, but not statistically significant relation between passive smoking and coronary heart disease and lung cancer. They showed significant links between passive smoking and both coronary heart disease and lung cancer, increasing the risk for each by around 25%. Other effects included reduced lung function, increasing respiratory issues, harmful effects to children, and had been linked with sudden infant death syndrome, low birth weight for pregnant women, and middle ear disease. Apart from research and verified findings on how harmful secondary smoking is to people, the actual privacy and personal space issues raised are enough to ban smoking, I would think, from public places. The unwanted smoke and fumes of a smoker mingling with the majority's breathing air is especially intrusive, making the environment uncomfortable. Is this not enough of a reason to ban this habitual menace from public places? A government health policy from the Department of Health in the UK and in Ireland work on the assumption that smoke-free is ideal. It wants to make rapid progress towards increasing the number of smoke-free pubs and restaurants because it believes there will be significant health gains because of the reduction in passive smoking, and smokers may stop smoking, leading to greater health gains. Arguments came from smokers that their habit did not affect other people. Owners of bars complained that businesses for them would decline because so many people smoked while they drank. There was debate about the effectiveness of such a law, and that a complete ban was unfair, and a partial ban brought about over time would have satisfied everyone. 5 years on, 97% compliance meant that the Irish government had made a good decision, albeit a controversial one. National health figures increased, and pubs didn't lose as much business as previously thought. Now, workplaces became smoke-free, and visitors to restaurants and clubs enjoyed the clean atmosphere. The smoking ban had worked, and all the evidence proved that it was accepted by the majority. People actively gave up smoking because it became too difficult to keep the habit up while they worked. The older generation found other ways to enjoy their day, as people suddenly saw that being healthy was more achievable. So why can't smoking in public places be banned everywhere? There are plenty of places a smoker can go to have a cigarette. It doesn't interfere with everyone else's space. One example is in their own home. Maybe this might offend smokers, but other people don't appreciate getting smoked on in the face. I was glad when the smoking ban was introduced in Ireland, and I think that smoking in public places is something we can all do with.